Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. Today I've got something special for you that I want to share with you. It's about my book. Like I told you, I'm gonna talk about my book in the next few episodes and tell you my story, and then we can have discussions on that if you want to. But my wife always told me, my wife and my daughter, that my videos is a bit boring and seems like I'm just talking on one tone, and you know, it's not something that people would be attracted to. So I thought, let me try and see if I can't make this a bit better so that I can reach more people, so it can be more interesting for people to look at. And I hope that the post that I'm going to post from now on, that it will be better and that it will really attract more people, because that is what I wanted to do at the end of the day. I would reach more people so that more people can hear my story and understand that God will always be there for us to help us and to get us through whatever life throws at us. I hope you're going to enjoy what I'm going to show to you, and that you will leave me some comments and tell me if you feel the first ones was better. I will not believe that anyone would say it was better, but if you feel these ones are better, you can give me some comments on that. And yeah, let's hope you enjoy this video.
All right, today we're jumping into a really personal and, honestly, a pretty powerful story. It's all about hardship, faith, and just resilience. And it comes straight from the pages of a memoir called Never Stop Believing by Jacques van Heerden. And right from the get-go, he hits us with this powerful idea. I mean, this quote really frames his entire life, and it sets the stage for a story that's just full of tension, but also incredible strength. So he uses this amazing metaphor, a bow and arrow, to explain his life. Picture this. On one side, you have people pushing him away, creating all this pressure. But on the other side, he feels God pulling him closer. And he believes that that exact moment, right before the string of the bow snaps, you know, that point of maximum tension, that's where the real power is found. And honestly, if you can grasp that one idea, you've got the key to understanding his entire story.
And believe me, his journey starts early. We're talking about a childhood that was just defined by one trial right after another.
And when you look at this timeline, you see how it just keeps building. It's not one thing, it's everything compounding. I mean, at just 2 years old, his most prized toys are stolen from his yard. Then, as a little kid, he's dealing with these terrifying nightly encounters with what he calls ghosts. By the time he's 5, he sees a really violent fight between his parents. And then, from age 6 to 8, he goes through the absolute worst betrayal, being molested by a trusted relative during the holidays. And these supernatural encounters he talks about are, well, they're incredibly specific. He describes seeing a teddy bear literally waving at him from his brother's bed, a black shadow figure standing by the light switch, even a huge bunny coming through the ceiling. And get this, an anteater-like creature in the garage that he says was summoning more ghosts. To him, these were not just bad dreams. They felt terrifyingly real. But out of all of that, the abuse was the most damaging. It became this life-altering secret that he carried for years. I mean, can you imagine? He was just a kid, terrified that no one would believe him, or that he'd get punished, or that telling the truth would just tear his entire family apart. So after years of just piling on trauma, his life is about to hit this huge turning point. And it's something that's going to completely reshape how he sees everything.
It all starts when he's forced to go to this church camp. He really doesn't want to be there. But while he's there, he hears this message, a message that he believes is telling him he should become a pastor. So he goes back home, and his mom, who's been chronically ill for years, is still sick in bed. And this is where something shifts. He and his brother decide to do something pretty bold. They pray for her. They pray for her healing.
And what happened next is what he calls the miracle he witnessed. He writes in his memoir that after their prayer, his mother was completely healed. I mean, she got out of bed, she no longer needed her daily injections, and that specific illness, it never came back. You can imagine, for him, this was an absolutely profound, life-changing moment. And that experience was really cemented for him by this specific passage from the Bible. It made him realize that his faith wasn't just, a comforting idea. He now saw it as an active, powerful force that could actually change the world around him.
But here's the thing. This newfound powerful faith, it didn't just make all the hardship go away. Oh, no. In fact, his teenage years were about to put that faith to the ultimate test.
So he ends up with this huge internal conflict.
On one hand, he discovers he's an incredible rugby player, like coaches are telling him he has what it takes to become a Springbok, to go pro. But on the other hand, that deep-seated trauma from his childhood, it left him with a real fear of men. And that made playing this very male-dominated sport a constant, exhausting mental battle.
And the hits just kept coming. A violent physical fight with his stepmother. Then, the sudden, tragic death of his stepbrother in a car accident. He had to go through painful knee operations because of his rugby injuries. And then, maybe the most devastating blow of all, his best friend, the person who had actually led him on his faith journey, was struck and killed by lightning. And all of this all happened in grade 12, his final year of high school. So right in the middle of all that, he starts getting mysteriously sick after every single rugby practice. This goes on for weeks, and finally, his mom insists they run a specific test. And the results, well, the diagnosis was just unbelievable. He'd had a heart attack. At 17, the doctor literally told him his heart was beating like a 75-year-old man's. And just like that, his dream of a rugby career, it was just gone.
Which brings us to the final, really powerful theme of his whole story. I mean, how do you find purpose in a lifetime of pain like that?
It really makes you ask the big question, right? After everything he had been through, why would you still believe?
And his answer is right here in this quote. He completely reframed his story. He came to believe that the suffering wasn't God punishing him, it was God preparing him. So his journey became about trusting God's plan, not focusing on his own pain, even when none of it made any sense.
Okay, so fast forward. Years later, as an adult, he hits rock bottom all over again, loses his job, his possessions, pretty much everything. And it's in that moment that he finally remembers that call he felt he received all those years ago at that church camp when he was just 13.
And he answered it. He became a pastor. And, it wasn't some easy decision or an instant fix for all his problems. It was a deliberate choice to finally step into the one role he believed his entire life had been preparing him for.
And that's really the core takeaway of his whole story. He now believes that every single trial, from his toys being stolen as a toddler to having a heart attack as a teenager, was all a form of training. Training for his true purpose, to help guide other people through their suffering.
So he ends his story not by dwelling on the pain, but by looking forward with this incredible mission. And his journey really leaves us with a pretty provocative thought, doesn't it? Is it possible that our deepest pain is actually the preparation for our greatest purpose?
Okay, so that is what I'm going to bring for you from now on. This is how my videos will look from now on. If everything goes well and I have the time to do it, then I will do it for you in this way. I think it's a bit more interesting and more people will like that. I hope you guys will like and subscribe my channel and share it to more people so that I can reach more people now. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week full of miracles. God bless you. Goodbye.